It's the 1st of May. Let's take a look at some freight. Let's see what's going on. Stay tuned. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm in a decent mood this morning, so I'm not sure why. Nothing weird or special happened, but all right. Good morning. I hope all is well. It is the 122nd day of the year. That means we're a third way through the year. And the title May Day comes from, well, it's May 1st. It's May Day. A lot of people don't realize that. I need to switch my calendars over. So, actually, let me do that right now. Now, when I lived in Hawaii, May Day was like kind of a big event. It was like they had like a whole bunch of activities for us kids, and they had, like this, like it was pretty much an open luau kind of thing. If you've never been to a luau, I suggest it's pretty cool. They put a pig in the ground, then you eat it. It's pretty neat. So, but anyways, hope all is well. We'll take a look at some low board stuff. The ADD moment brought to you by calendars. not Marie calendars, calendars, just calendars, right? So, anyways, I had some pretty good reactions for the reaction video yesterday, so thank you all for tuning into that. Jackknife was a great sport. Like I said, go check out Jackknife TV. Go check out his video. And I saw that TC Boggs did a video. He gave me some compliments, so I appreciate that. Anyways, hope all is well. Let's take a look at freight. There's not okay. So one of the things I will show. Let's see if I can find this. If I can spell here. Marietta. Okay. Dollar. Tree. Tornado. Tornado damage. Let's see here. See if we can do images. Let's see. Images. So check this out. I'm going to share the screen here. So the Marietta Dollar Tree Distribution Center was hit with the tornadoes. I think it was Sunday. And this is pretty crazy. Like, it just went right through the middle of the distribution center. Now, at Schneider, when I was a Schneider owner operator, I used to pick up and deliver here all the time, loaded trailers, and then in the spot market, I would find myself live unloading there quite a bit. There's a French's here in Springfield. They had a lot of stuff that went to Marietta, and I always enjoyed Marietta because there was a truck stop right across the interstate. This Dollar Tree wasn't too bad. There was a lady in there. Hope she's okay. Hope they're all okay. She was pretty friendly. She treated drivers with respect. I remember her telling me her husband was a truck driver, so she always tried to treat them with respect, and it was a great place. But to see this kind of damage on this facility is pretty crazy. And then, of course, there's the interstate I-35 right there, and then you got the Super Coupe right down the road from it there a little bit. I wonder if it got hit by the tornado. But anyways, that's the Dollar Tree. So that was kind of crazy to watch, to see that. And I believe, here's a picture of what it did with the trailers. There was a couple of shots where the trailers were actually like on top of each other. There's the docks that you would go in. Let's see, pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, this is the truck stop across the interstate. I've actually I usually parked right here where you see this Dollar General. This is where I usually parked. Was along that side, and this place was kind of a they could probably use a rebuilding. So it was and a lot of the tree type trucks would park here, but I've been at this truck stop during storm warnings. There was one time there was a tornado warning. I had the weather radio on. I was sitting there in my truck, so it's crazy to see this. Yeah, there's another angle of it. Yeah, just along this line, this is where I would usually park. So yeah, it was crazy to see that. So I hope it's I don't know. I had a lot of friends that were affected by the Joplin tornado. It was about 10 years ago now, I think. And it's crazy to see what damage the tornado can do, especially when you see it at a truck stop or a big distribution center. And I imagine that this is going to affect a lot of Dollar Tree stores throughout southern Oklahoma and Texas there. So, but anyways, let's get to the comments here, and then we'll take a look at some freight, see what's going on. So, my name is Nobody. Good morning, Jose. What's up? Jen C. Good morning. James G. Good morning. Jackknife TV. Happy jamming out morning. Good deal. Pigtail. What's up? WCF Invader. Good day. CDN. Good morning, Steve. Working remotely from Nashville. You're still in Nashville. That's cool. Are you going to go to the Gibson factory tour? If you do, put something underneath the coat for me. See if they'll let you walk out with the guitar. I doubt it. They want arms and legs for those things nowadays. And what's interesting is Gibson's actually voted one of the worst places to work in Nashville. So, and you can tell in their quality control. So, plays on Freeway. Hey y'all, what's up? Josh McClain, howdy. Every day above ground is a good day. It is a good day. Shannon Thomas, good morning. Snorelord Berserker over here. Good deal. We are working on the second flavor there, Shannon, just for you. And hopefully that will be live soon. I talked to Sage yesterday, and his wife handles all that, so I think she is taking care of all that. But we should have another blend shortly. David Edwards, good morning. Very angry this morning, but I hope you all have a great and blessed day. Broken trailers, yes, that can cause anger. And you know, you're new to the trucking world, David. So trucking's definitely going to give you some lessons in anger. So I mean, I have been extremely angry. I've beaten up my steering wheel quite a few times. It's okay. It'll be all right. A year from now, you're not even going to remember what happened today. So, Mrs. A making fun. Toga, what's up? Toga, oi oi. What's up, Toga? The man that never sleeps. He doesn't sleep. I think he's superhuman. I think he might even be AI. I was suspecting that he was AI until he was actually on Sage's channel. He actually was on the line. I don't know if he would. Were you on camera too? So everybody talking to David Jackknife. That's nuts. All those guys had nowhere to go, just stuck in their trucks. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, yeah, there's no storm shelters out there, and the bathrooms there, they're nasty. They're nasty. Bathrooms at that truck stop, though, I think they are encased in concrete. So, but it didn't look like it hit the building too bad at that truck stop. I really would have thought that a huge DC would have been built to withstand a tornado, similar to how buildings in California are built to withstand earthquakes. Well, that's the thing, Don. Nothing really withstands a tornado. I mean, you think about warehouses, right? They have basically it's sheet metal encased in insulation and metal shelving. So as you could see, the roof was just ripped off. But I mean, if it's tossing 53-foot trailers around like toys, not a whole lot of buildings are going to withstand that. So, and I believe earthquakes are more destructive as far as you got to get to the foundation and all that. So Gary Cook, good morning. TK, hey now. Sorry, cannot stay. Work to do. Replay for me. All right, CDN, thanks for coming in. Chuck, don't care about your feelings. Once said by a great man. Yep, I believe you can buy a shirt that says that. Everybody knows that I'm human. Come on, guys. You better laugh to my joke. It took really long to type. Tolga sweats coolant. My dad's house withstood the Jeff City tornado. It's a brick house with a basement. Well, there you go. They don't make warehouses like that. Warehouses are basically just a metal shell to keep rain from coming in. So there you go. Oh, don't forget, we got some coffee going on. That's the name of the show, Morning Coffee Live. So, anyways, everybody's Mrs. A is laughing, Tolga, so you're good to go, man. All right, so let's take a look at some load boards. Let's take some load ratios on DAT, too. We'll look at 123loadboard.com, and then we'll also take a look at DAT. And let's see. Let's get this up and running. Now, DAT mobile wasn't working the other day, but it seemed like I was still able to get on the computer. So there's my oldest. Good morning. How are you? Looking forward to your trip next or actually I almost said next month. It is May, so Tolga saying hi. Sounds like the build codes are only for people, not the businesses. If a house is built to withstand a tornado, then businesses should be required to. Well, they do have tornado shelters because, at the end of the day, it's just stuff, right? They do have tornado shelters inside the building. And to be honest with you, the Tornado Alley's just kind of shifted a little bit. Um, so I mean, at the time that the building was built, you know, it, the odds of a tornado hitting the exact building are pretty slim, whereas an earthquake's more widespread, right? So, no, I get you on the building codes, but I mean, when you have I don't know what strength the tornado had, the tornado was in Marietta, but when you have like an F5, there's nothing you can do. There's no building that withstands that. I mean, it was so surreal driving around Joplin and not seeing the normal landmarks that we're used to seeing. It was very strange, and there's a lot of videos out there of like before and after, and when you have no street signs, no trees, no buildings, you get lost. It's crazy. Our friends, their house was a total loss. They barely got out alive. It was crazy. And so let's say you pass a law with codes now that doesn't help buildings that have been around for 10, 20, 30 years, which I don't know. I know that Marietta building's at least 15 years because I remember seeing that building when I first started driving. So super excited. I have a countdown on my phone's calendar posted on my home screen. There you go. Awesome. So, all right, let's take a look at some low board stuff, shall we? Boink, boink, boink. All right, there we go. All right, so this is DAT load counts, right? This is per van. And like I said, the Southeast is doing pretty good. Alabama, Arkansas, even Arizona has more out than in. California's finally got more out than in. Pretty substantial, but not enough to justify taking $1.20 to go in. Colorado's a crap show. Connecticut's a crap show. Florida is even, almost 1442 in, 1583 out. Vetted vans are a hot commodity here out of Florida, so just be aware of those. Melons are now starting to ship. Georgia 1452 in, almost over 2,700 coming out. Let's see, Iowa 262 in, 262 out, even Steven. Illinois is less out than in. Indiana is about even, 762 to 799. Kansas is about even. Kentucky's doing all right. Louisiana's got more out than in. Maryland's not so much. So the Northeast is kind of a crap show coming out. Michigan is not so much coming out. Look at Missouri, 557 in, 484 out. So the volumes have shifted. Mississippi, 279 in, 480 out. And then North Carolina, 1081 in and 1262 out. So look at Ohio, 1298 in and 1191 out. So there's a few times of the year, it's usually mid to late spring, that I see the Midwest not do as well as the Southeast. Tennessee, 691 in, 1118 out. South Carolina looks good. Texas, 2455 in, 3103 out. And because of their dumb question mark, I can't see. West Virginia is always bad. Wisconsin is 664 in, 573 out. So volumes have shifted to the Southeast. North Carolina, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. So let's take a look, see if this reflects the same thing. I can't imagine how expensive it would be to try to make a warehouse that size tornado proof, if that's even a thing. I've lived in this area my whole life. I've never heard of that. Everyone I know is happy if there's just a shelter available, right? I love pre-pass. They just randomly pull out $1,200 whenever they feel like it. Huh. Was that your toll pass? Was that your tolls living up there in the Northeast there? So as you can see, Arizona's green again. Last week it had turned yellow. California's green. You got 530 loads outbound, 216 outbound in Arizona. And let's see. Let's take a look at yeah, the ratios are about the same when it comes to the Midwest here, Illinois. Let's take a look at Georgia, shall we? See what's coming out of Georgia. Now, I'm going to test something here. Let's do the highest rate here. You're looking at 130 to 160 to go across country. If you're going east to west, it is not good, right? You get 219 to go to Odessa. That's not too bad from Marietta, Georgia. $1.12, 210 to go to Oklahoma City. Now, freight going into Oklahoma should probably be paying pretty good. There's going to be some relief efforts going on. I just heard an ad on our local radio station about Convoy of Hope heading down to parts of Oklahoma that their grocery stores were wiped out. So they're trying to bring groceries and all that. Oh, this is Van Hotshot. So 48,000 pounds, but it says Hotshot. Okay. 2 track loaders, pick up in Statesboro, Georgia, 1,700 pounds. 17,000 pounds. So yeah, but I did put this on Van, didn't I? Yeah. So flatbedders, look for high paying loads going into Oklahoma, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas. All these states have been hit pretty hard with the tornadoes. The footage coming out of Iowa and Nebraska off of 80 there has been incredible to see that. So there should be some uptick in flatbed freight for a while going into those areas. So just make sure you're getting your money in. Let's see, 2,100 to go to Mass, $1.93, 201 to go to what's this, Windsor Lock? Where's that at? Connecticut. So, but let's look at the highest rate per mile here. And all the short stuff's going to Alabama, Tennessee. Here we go. 308 a mile to go to Orlando from McDonough. That's tomorrow. Picks up tomorrow. 700 to go to South Carolina. That'd be a good day run, 255 miles. 298 a mile, $625 to go to Cookeville, Tennessee, out of Atlanta. $1,400 to go to Plant City, Florida. A lot of loads doing that. Jackson, Mississippi. That's not too bad. 1,100, 272 a mile. Morrow, Georgia to Jackson, Mississippi. Let's click on that one. That's not till next week. It's not until next Tuesday, but multi-stop. I kind of wonder if this is watermelons. So that explains the. Well, rate's still kind of low, depending on. I don't know how many days that is. March 9th, so that's 2 days, 1,100. So I try to get a little bit more on your rate per day with the multi-stops. So who knows what that product is. Highest rate per mile is going down to the Carolinas, Tennessee, Florida. And then the highest overall rates are going into the West Coast or the Northeast. So a lot of Tennessee. Here's one, the Newark, New Jersey, 240 mile, $2,000. Let's take a look at this one. If you live in Newark, this might be a good load for you. 2 days of work for $2,000. That's $1,000 a day. 45,000 pounds. It's beer, so you got to look at your beer permits. Make sure you can pull that. The broker might tell you you don't need permits. So now the Raycons, what I've noticed is the Raycons now say it is up to the carrier to make sure that they have the proper permits. We are not responsible. Blah 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 blah. Which they should say that. If I'm a broker and I'm trying to move beer and a carrier calls me and they ask me if I need a beer permit, I'd be like, part of me would be like, yes, if you're going to need beer permits for these states, like do your research. But let's say you're trying to move 100 beer loads going to all points. You would tell them, look, it's not my place to tell you whether you need permits or not. So, but anyways, Georgia's a good market right now. So let's take a look at Missouri. Since Missouri, it looks like it was struggling on the DAT board. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see, the highest rate going out of Missouri for overall rate is, again, $1.70. Here's $2.79 to go to Mass. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, that's my tolls. It usually comes out every 2 weeks. They must have held 1 week. Man, those tolls will kill you up there. Truckers Education Network, good morning. It's pocket change. You should be happy to donate the pre-pass fund, right? Chief Freight Hauler, good morning. Too early for watermelons out of Georgia. So I wonder what that product is. Reefer out of Florida looking good. Well, that's good. We'll take a look at that. Mrs. A, don't tell Snorelord I'm taking you to breakfast. Make sure you get this money. LOL. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Jeff. Export, import, HTC. Good morning, all. Good morning. That's a neat color truck you got there. And your avatar. Hello, well, thanks, Jeffrey. I'll try to figure out how to hide the super chat. So, anyways, thanks for a super chat, Jeff. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Reefer out of Florida. So let's do this. Put this on Reefer. And for that matter, we could do that on van as well. So this is Reefer outbound out of Florida. Highest rate, $4,700. Bartow, Florida to Portland, Oregon. $226 a mile to go to Denver out of Miami. Wow. What's Miami usually do on Reefer coming out? Cheap Freight Hauler says Mother's Day's plants coming out of South Florida. Yes, Mother's Day is hot and heavy right now. So, yes, I feel gracious to donate to the New York Port Authority and Pennsylvania Turnpike Authority. You should, because those are pristine roads that you're supplying there. Yeah, 4,500. They're above cargo chief, so they're putting some money on this. Maximum temperature 36. So would this be watermelons? Is that what this is? What's the weight on this? Oh, they don't have a weight. Or would that be flowers? I got several of those. $309 to go to Shirley, New York. Let's take a look at that. That's for today, too. Puts you in New York City area, I believe. Cargo Chiefs got it at 29. They're at 43. Easy on, easy off. Ready 8 to 4. Deliver 7 to 3. So open window. Going to the city. Let's see what tolls. Tolls are going to be almost $300 though. $292. So that's crazy. Cray. Let's do the highest rate per mile. Let's see where all the shorty stuff is doing it out of Florida. All right, let's go back to comments here. FYI, some states a significant amount of time to get a beer permit for. Oklahoma, for instance, took a month to give me a beer permit and has to be renewed annually. There's a great website. I did a video on this, and DIY has done a video on it where and how to look for the alcohol permits. Convoy used to have a really good chart. It was pretty much copy and pasted from one of these resources. Let me find this. Resource here. I'll put a link in the chat here. And then I'll put this back up on the screen. ProDriverTools.com, alcohol permits. And so you scroll down and it tells you whether you need it within, from, to, or through. And then it has the links of where you would get these permits. And if it has an X, you're good to go. Like, you don't need any permits to go within, from, or to, or through Arizona. Which I don't know what the difference is between within and through, but okay. I guess if you're picking up in Phoenix and delivering in Prescott, I guess that would count. Arkansas, you do. Let's see. Don was talking about Oklahoma. Let's see. Yes, you do. Now, if you work for a mega carrier like Landstar or Schneider, they probably have these permits. I would check your permit book, but because I remember I've delivered a lot of beer out of Colorado into Oklahoma. I was never worried about what states I was going through or anything like that. Missouri, here, note, permits not applicable to intrastate operating authority carriers. So, which you don't need a permit for anything anyways. So this is a great resource. And I put the link there in the chat. So I gave up dry van and reefer. Now I got the step deck trying. Thank you, man. It's my T680. Okay, cool. Well, good luck. Hopefully you're running the Southeast a lot because that's where all the flatbed step deck freight is. How about some interstate Alabama? Do you mean intrastate Alabama? Tennessee Trucking, top of the morning, Steve and Jeff. Good morning. Jose says Miami to Denver should be 4,500 to 6,500. That's a big spread. THC, I imagine you're renting those trailers, right? Or you just keep buying them and parking them in the yard. It's great. I have the load to Kentucky from Montreal, only waiting for the correction on the truck insurance. All right, and there's the website right there I've put up there. So, all right, said I sold the reefer and got the step deck, jackknife, and yes, with Landstar, you get all those permits. Yep. So, if you got a step deck, man, you can specialize, and specialize is a good way to survive any market. So. But anyways, back to the low board stuff here. So 411 to go from Florida to Greer, South Carolina at $1,900. So there's definitely some freight coming out of Florida, like what was said. So Monticello, Florida to North Carolina, 3,500 to go to Brooklyn. Let's take a look at that one. Is Brooklyn where Hunts Point is, or is that Queens, or is that the Bronx? I don't know. I get them all confused. 3,500. Cargo Chiefs got it at 26, so they're definitely way above what normally goes for. And you're looking at $310 in tolls. So, but you're still profiting per day if your costs are fairly low. So whether or not you want to deal with that, see, I would rather do this for a little bit more money. Stuart, Florida, Newark, Ohio. Let's take a look at this. But of course, this is a different day, so it's the Bronx that's Hunts Point. Okay, thank you. Been there a few times. Good morning, everyone from Minnesota. 5th stop out of 20. Scorpion's going to be working for a minute. Everybody go check out his channel. Did a really good video recently about closing shop, so his days are numbered. But we're going to miss him. So, yeah, this doesn't say anything about multiple stop. I'd rather have this load. Stuart, Florida, and then Newark, Ohio. It's better on the mile. It's better on the rate. And $47 worth of tolls. So, now with it being a week from now, it's probably a good chance that it might cancel. A lot of our drivers are complaining about loads being pushed out or canceled. WCF Invaders had to redo his week like 3 times this past week, and it's only Tuesday, so it's been crazy. Oh, let's see. Let's look at Alabama, and you can look at intrastate. Nope, no loads found. So there's no intrastate in Alabama there, Marty. Not in the reefer world. So it looks like let's take a look at Texas. Got some loads coming out of Laredo, $230 a mile, $5,000 to go to Mass. Here we go, McAllen to the Bronx. That's probably Hunts Point load. Yeah, Snorelord. Even I have the ramps on the trailer equipment with lights for oversized loads, and I did the video going to do videos on loads. Excellent. I'll have to subscribe to you. Here, let me do that real quick. There, I just subbed to you, man. To be honest, though, if you get a good paying load to Hunts Point, that pays for the tolls and the $30 to enter Hunts Point. It's worth it. It's not that hard to get to. $30 to go in? That's crazy. Drive with John. Hi, everyone, he says. Hit the like, guys. Yeah, hit the like. Do what Export says. Listen to a random YouTuber. All right, because that's important. So, oh man, let's take a look at intrastate in Texas. 2,200 for 535 miles, 411 a mile. Donna, Texas to Plano, Texas. There's quite a few of those. Mission to Plano. So who's the receiver in Plano? Yeah, $30 to go in. They take credit card and debit card. And the nice thing is you get 24 hours to park there, I guess, if you must. Well, that's cool. So can you show up early for your appointment and spend the night there? Number one, and number two, is it safe to do so? That might be good information for people. All right, James G. Thanks for. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in here. So we're at 30% above my cost per day. Of course, my cost per day is not accurate on this because I don't have a reefer. Well, I don't have anything really, but my stuff is based off a van. No toll cost on this one, obviously. 2 days, though, for 527 miles. So my guess, it probably picks up late May 1st. So, but still, it's $1,100 a day before carriers cut, before fuel. So $1,800 to go to Seminole, Texas, out of McAllen. So Interstate looks like it's doing really well. You could probably find a pretty decent triangle going around Texas if you have the Interstate Authority. That's the thing. So quite a bit. In reefer Interstate. So let's take a look at Arkansas. A lot of poultry in Arkansas. And some watermelon. There is watermelons that do come out of Arkansas, but I don't think they're shipping yet. Yes, sir. You can show up early. They got porta potties, and the morning lunch there is a restaurant. Oh, okay. Security 24/7. That's good. Morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody's off to a good start. We're trying, Wilburn. We're trying. Jackknife, will they let you park there if you're not delivering there? Imagine they check. Said, I've never had anybody check, but you pretty much pull up the gate, slide your car, and you're in. So you pay $30 to park safely in the Bronx. Yeah, that's not a bad gig. There are a few hiding places here in Springfield that you get kicked off now because a lot of people were taking advantage of, hey, they don't check the staging area of this place. So you got to be careful with that. Jerome Jones, thank you for being a member. 13 months. How's dry van in Florida? Is it popping with the flower loads? Yes, we were just looking at. So let's take a look. Let's switch this to van. And now on the DAT board, the loads were even going in and out. There's a few more coming out than in. But here's 1, 2, 3 low board. So let's take a look at the highest rate per mile. You're looking at $600-$700, $259, $289 a mile to go back up to Georgia, which is pretty good. Leesburg, Florida to Cottonwood, Alabama, $226, $650. Here we go, $2,900 to go from Homestead, Florida to Riverhead, New York. Take a look at that one. It's got a weight of 35,000. Shannon says, Snorelord Berserker Brew tastes great with my mom's banana bread muffins. We got to partner up then. I think I'm done being part of the problem and advertising how much money Specialized is making. Well, it's not that I don't think that people like, TC Boggs talks about it, Sage talks about it, I've talked about it, that if you specialize, it's just common sense. It's not that, I don't think YouTube adds that much influence. I don't think there's like flatbed just had a surge of more and new drivers, right? And because you have people that will jump platforms if they're struggling. Like, okay, van's not doing well, so I'm going to go to reefer. Oh, reefer's not doing well, so I'm going to go to step deck. And what you have to find is what works for you in your area. If you own a flatbed in the southeast, you can probably sit far better and not be as volatile as like having a reefer in Georgia, Florida, that area. I don't think YouTube has as much influence as people think it does, as far as like, because to switch platforms is a considerable investment. Now, I will say this. So, coming from a trucking background, there were still things that surprised me when I became a truck driver. And this is before I was watching a lot of YouTube on trucking stuff. This was just an observation I made, that I noticed that when you're sitting there at a truck stop doing 34s because your company couldn't get you home, or you're sitting at a dock for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, I noticed that tank drivers were never doing 34s in the truck stops. I noticed that. And I always had kind of like the guy that trained me in my CDL class, he was an ex-tanker driver. Obviously, growing up with the movie Convoy, I liked that, Rubber Duck's truck. He's a tanker, and just like, it always intrigued me. And I started to notice that those guys never do 34s on in the truck stops. They don't have horrible stories at the counter about staying somewhere for 4 or 5, 6, 8, 10 hours. And so me and all my dry van friends were talking about that, and they all said, you know what, I'm going to start looking for tank freight. And I was the only one that never did. Out of all my friends I was talking to at the time, they all went to tank freight, and they said it was a night and day difference of how you treated customers, unload times, your hours are different, it's just a considerable difference. And so that was something that I noticed. And obviously, when I was at Landstar, obviously I made more money with my tank endorsement and hazmat endorsement. And I made that work, so while everybody was like, you'd have like guys sit at the operating center, like there in Fort Worth, and they would literally they would avoid hazmat loads. Even though everybody at Landstar had their hazmat, they would sit for 2 or 3 days before they do a hazmat load. I'm like, I'll do a hazmat load. So I think that just common sense says, in cents per mile, it's name your channel. I think common sense just said that if you do something that not a whole lot of people are doing or want to do, you're going to make more money. So I've lost a couple of drivers off my dispatch queue because they went specialized. They went to hazmat tank. So Sage is asking Scorpion if he'll ever get back into trucking or just find something else. His video's a good watch. Listen to it, and you'll see that he's got other skills. He's got other. He's not just stuck in the truck. So Shannon says, "Yum." I think Riverhead's Long Island. It is. Don says multi-million-dollar park being built on an island in Jeff City in the Missouri River. They built a big bridge to get there. I believe it's under construction now underwater. I bet. We've had a lot of rain, and I'm surprised we haven't had too much flooding in our yard. Knock on wood, 'cause we're supposed to get some more rain today. So who would have thought it would flood, right? Everyone says flatbed pays, which at the end it did, and traditionally it always has. So when things got tough, all the door swingers ran over to flatbed this time, and obviously it's having an effect. Yeah, and I see it on Facebook. The flatbed groups are showing some atrocious load securements or lack of. There's one person that was hauling those big spools of wire that weren't even strapped down. And if you follow Dooner on Twitter, he's always posting rate the strap work, and like some of these you're just like, what's going on? And so it's getting kind of crazy. And that's something that happens. I never jumped to a different platform as far as like switching the reefer, switching the flatbed, because number one, I am not meant or built for flatbed. I'm just not. I can't even tie stuff down in my pickup truck correctly. I'm the guy doing the walk of the shame on the interstate. That's how bad I am, right? I once had my wife sit in the back of the truck to hold a mattress down for me. So flatbed is not for me. I'm sure some training could solve that, but who wants to deal with that, right? Reefer, I never worked for a reefer company. My dad had reefer. His truck was a reefer, and I saw the frustrations that he had. And so I wasn't about to go there. So I knew I had to make van work. And tanker, there's really not a whole lot of tanker freight that you're allowed to dispatch yourself, and probably for good reason. So that's why I never went in the tanker. I could have gotten a job hauling fuel locally, and a couple of people I know that went that route, they were miserable after a while. It was good money, but they're working third shift, no social life. It's just working 16-hour days, and I've got friends that do food grade tank. I think that would be the route I go if I ever wanted to do it. So, does it pay as well as hazmat? No. But food's got to move, right? And I do know that their rates are pretty darn good. So Sterling says 53 reefer or step deck out of Tillamook, Oregon, or any Western. So we can do that all at once here. So let's do this. Let's put reefer in step deck. Apply. And then we can just look at Oregon, which has only got 57 outbound. And your highest rates, overall rates, $1.90, Virginia. That's for what trailer type is this? I don't have my glasses on. And yes, and good morning, Sterling. Flatbed extendable load ramps, step deck with load ramps. So 5,400, 2 stops, one in Salt Lake, one in Virginia. $245 a mile. Reefer to go to Baldwin, Missouri. Let's take a look at this one. Certainly, I appreciate that. Stopping in. He's on vacation, so. And I didn't realize that when I called you earlier this week, so I apologize. It's got 4 stops. It'll depend on how quickly you can get these stops off and how many actual miles there are for reefer. This might be pretty good. Cargo Chief's got it 47. They're at 5. So they're already above. So it just depends on what the stops are entailed and how long it takes. Another one going to Lawrence, Kansas, $237 a mile, $5,000 to do that. Here's Salem, Oregon, to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Not quite $2 a mile for a reefer. Truckin' City Media. Good morning. I love the content and the wake up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully you got yourself a good cup of coffee and an awesome cup. Shannon says, I will sponsor someone a bag of Snorelord Berserker Brew to anyone who can guess how long Mr. and Mrs. Snorelord have been wedded. Jackknife TV, seen one today, Volvo hauling steel mesh, and he never belly strapped the load. They were all leaning all over the place. I stayed far away. He's one off ramp, on ramp away from losing his load. Freight jumping makes a lot of people spark up that immigration feeling. Auto parts and PACCAR lower the rates from USA to Canada, but still very good pay. There you go. Marty says, I think you would like car carrier better than hauling a tube. No. Nope. The insurance is too high. To be an owner operator as a car hauler would be, the insurance is stupid. And I don't have any, like, I have no desire to ever be a car hauler. Ever. I don't like heights either, so getting up on that top level and tying the cars down I don't think would do well. This area near Astoria, Oregon looks nice to move to, and yes, vacation. What was Red Chicken doing during the eclipse? Sitting on my speaker cabinet. Sage says 21 years. Don, you are way off. Mrs. A says Sage is close. Scorpion Trucker says 24 years. Scorpion Trucker is correct. So there you go. So Scorpion Trucker gets a free bag of Berserker Brew supplied by Shannon. There you go. I meet the guy doing RVs last week and was telling me about he's getting good pay from Indiana and Canada and back empty. Yeah, the thing with RVs though. Now, here's my theory on RVs. Mind you, I'm just a YouTuber that hardly knows what he's talking about. But here's the thing. At one time, you would think that RVs were a luxury item. So obviously, if the economy is going down, that the sales would slow down. Well, what I have found is big ticket items like RVs and boats, what they do is they like, oh, we can do a 15-year note on that. And so the payments are more reasonable, right? But then also, and you see this in California, there are a lot of people that are moving out of their expensive homes and expensive rental properties and moving into an RV and just living in it. So it's no longer a luxury item as much as, hey, I'm going to save money, $200 a month for a mobile trailer versus, $1,500 a month for an apartment that sucks. So I don't know. The overhead on, I mean, you pass by these camping worlds in the middle of nowhere and there's like 3,000 RVs out there. You're like, man, it's a lot of overhead. But also the markup on RVs is pretty high. Like you're looking at 50 to 60% markup on those things. So if it's priced at 10,000, they probably only paid like 3,000 or 4,000 for it. Which that was dumb because I don't think there is a travel trailer that's less than 10 grand. So ladies are having fun. Good deal. Wow, I had no idea. I thought for sure it was in the single digits. Yeah, congratulations. Well, we've been married for 24, but we've actually been together for 26. So yeah, but if you damage the RV, it comes from your wallet, right? RV is a luxury item or at least a non-necessity. I went to bet that basically put all your eggs in one basket. RVs are circling the drain hardcore right now. I would imagine that was what I pictured. So look up Steve Leto. Don't buy an RV. Never buy an RV. you're better off grabbing a school bus, rebuilding the motor, gutting that thing out, build it to your specs. It'll be stronger. It'll be better. And, because school buses are meant for impact. So it's not going to splinter like a box of toothpicks if it ever gets hit on the interstate. And you'd still be out probably not even a third of what an RV the same size would cost. And I know people have done it. You have the YouTuber Dump Truck Bob. He did that. The lady that cleans my teeth at the dentist, her and her husband did that. They got a smaller bus, like the short bus, and I forget how much money she told me that they were in on it, but it was nowhere near what these RVs and trailers are costing. Sorry, I can't talk. Cents per mile. I've done RVs, and the market for that has become like an old lady. Hot flashes and super cold spells and a lot of pitching. Oh, that's a perfect analogy there, cents per mile. Right now, Facebook Marketplace is littered with RVs, side-by-sides, all the fun stuff. The thing is people go to sell their RVs. Like, I've been looking for a teardrop style camper, and you're seeing, or a pop-up camper, and they'll be like 10, 15, 20 years old, and they're like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 less than what they go for new. It's like people are trying to get their money back because they realize that they barely used it. Shannon says, my RV is older, built strong, and insulated for winters too. It's my retirement home, LOL, for after trucking, and I got it for $500. Tents are a better return of investment. Most campgrounds exclude older RVs to keep people buying new stuff. It's common in California to have a 10-year restriction and no schoolies. Wow. That's lame. So Sterling just took my idea and just shot out of the air. So there's that. All right, so do a school bus and don't go to California. Sterling, that must be one of those RV parks where everyone sits their wine and their pinky finger up. California is lame. I agree with you, Shannon. So, all right. So there's your market out of Oregon there. Mostly reefer, not a whole lot of step deck. Let's see. So, anyways, we've been at this for an hour, so we'll probably call it. We'll do more. We'll do a few more. We'll do a few more minutes here. Sterling says, I get hotel rooms. I don't haul dishes and boom. These campgrounds have cabins, and so if you do, Mrs. A, how much is a cabin? How much did we pay for that one cabin? You could do a cabin twice a year and still not be the payments of an RV. Like I think it's like one RV payment for a cabin for a weekend at a campground, and you don't have to haul a bunch of stuff. Josh, what's up? CB's being gross. Well, California has restrictions for everything, LOL. Don't understand how people don't leave that stupid state. It's funny. They have restrictions on 10-year-old campers, but hey, you can pitch a tent in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard. We got a nice room for a week, $500 and done. I don't remember. That's way cheaper than a hotel. Maybe the $60 range for the small ones, right? So even if it's $100, right, for the weekend, and you do that once a month, like let's say you go to a campground every month, you're still on out the money that it takes for an RV or camper. Now, we have thrown around the idea of getting a camper and putting it on our land and just saying screw the whole world, but that's not a realistic goal. So, but anyways, guys and gals, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. If you want to try out the 123 low board, 48065, get yourself 30 days for free. Check out the low board. Check out all the tools that I barely touch upon. There's all kinds of new things that they're doing. The low board has never gone down. And yeah, so when those other low boards fail you or there's too much fraud, come to the 123 low board and see if you can find a load there. Also, contentcreatorcoffee.com. Type in Snorelord. You'll see the Berserker's Brew. Check that out. All the links are in the description. And other than that, let's see what other comments we have here. Can we do flatbed out of PA real quick? No. We'll do it Friday, Jackknife. We'll do it Friday. Is $25 an hour for Class A, no endorsements, home every night, good pay. Well, if you live in California, probably not. But if you live in Missouri, that's good money. So it just depends on where you're living. So whatever, that's my goal, LOL. More than 5,000 subscribers. Yes, we finally surpassed. It took me 4 months later than I wanted to, but we finally surpassed 5,000 subs. If we can just get more than 10% to watch, I'll be happy. But I do this because I enjoy it. That's the KOA. The cabin we got in the state park was a lot less. There you go. Yep, it's not bad. Be happy with it because it won't always be there, right? So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Bang your head. Aggression turns to screws. Yada, yada, yada. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Friday, hopefully. Peace.